I would hope not. That'd be pretty soon for that to be going on. You delinquent, you. Man, I never get anything. What do I get in here? Nothing. I never get nothing. I never get anything. It's bullshit. Never get any that gets... I've been farming the mount for this shit for years. Like, I literally do the stupid Horseman thing, the dungeon, every day. Not on one character. Keep in mind, in Burning Crusade, I had 3 level 70s. In Wrath, I had, like, everything at level 80 except a DK and a Rogue. Those are the only things I didn't have at 80. And then in Kata, I had everything at 90 except Monk and... No, wait, Monk didn't come out. What did I have? Hang on. I didn't have Monk. I've never had Monk Max, so that was in Panda. But in Kata, I had everything at 90 except a Rogue. And the Rogue came to 90 towards the end of Kata. And a DK. I never had a DK at 90. And then Panda, again, the only thing is like DK and Monk were the only things I didn't have max. So all my characters that I had max level, I would do the stupid dungeon with, and fucking never. I never get it. I never fucking get it. Never get that mount. And I've done it every year. Every year. Every year. I never get it. It's bullshit. Where's this question mark I'm seeing? I mean, exclamation point that I'm seeing. In here. In here. Let's go in here. This guy. This guy has a quest for me. Win 4 battleground matches. I'll take that. Because I'm going to farm some more Song Gulch eventually. Because I'm really close to some achievements. Go sex a random woman on the street. Digi. Shenanigans. Oh, hey, Cesarius. Actually, I'm like level 15 on Final Fantasy IX. I played it a little bit without streaming because I was selfish with my game. No, kidding. I'll be back to streaming some of that later on. I just got behind on this. I will probably... I'm thinking... See, I'm toying with a schedule now. I'm going to try to, like, put myself in a schedule. Even though I'm kind of worried about it because I got a lot of things that are changing in the near future, so it's going to be hard, but we shall see. I'm thinking about doing like a Final Fantasy Friday where I play like the older Final Fantasy games because I still want to do 12, but I might start streaming 9 on Fridays and then after 9 hit up 12 because those are the last 2 I need to have completed all of the Final Fantasy games. Minus Tactics. I never beat Tactics, but it's a different type of game. I mean, it's okay, but it wasn't, you know, I wanted the JRPG style. It's just my thing. I've always liked the JRPGs. And how has your weekend been, Cesarius? I haven't seen you in a while. I haven't strummed in a while. Strummed. You know. Let's go here. I need to go there. Got onto Fallout 4. Yes, 9 does come after 12. No. Right? Isn't it crazy how, like, sometimes you'll get games just because, like, oh, well, this one's cheap, so, See, if I had that mentality, I would have saved a lot of money. Because what happens with me is, like, I get all psyched for, like, the release of a game. Like, I'll find out, like, when Dragon Age 2 was coming out, I was, like, so psyched about it. Like, I had, like, all the links to all the, like, the advertising, what do you call them? Like, the cinematics that they put out for the game. I had links to that, and every time anybody would say anything about it, I'd be like, oh, check out this game. And I was just like, oh, look at this. I was so excited. And as soon as it came out, I bought it like the day it came out because I was so ready to play it because I hyped myself up. It was a good game, though. It was free. Well, I don't think it was as good as the first one. But yeah, it's a good game. Good game. Welcome back, Monk. Yes, I do think the trailer was better than the game. I got super psyched because Morgan, I was like, oh my gosh, she's so badass. And she wasn't nearly that badass in the game. But I'm going to kill that guy. Just in case there's a critter achievement. You talking to me, Digi? Are you calling me a delinquent? I've heard a lot of good things about Fallout too. I don't get into like first person shooters as much anymore. I used to when I was hanging around people that had Xbox, and basically they would just hand me the headset and I would just talk mad shit to people and they would kill them. And sometimes in Gears of War I would just like chainsaw bitches just because it's like chainsawing bitches, and then I would talk mad shit and that was always fun. But other than that, like, I prefer, like, if I'm gonna do like first person, I like first person hack and slash, like older games and the newer games, like the older games like Gauntlet, Dark Legacy, or like Baldur's Gate, Dark Alliance, like those type of like hack and slash, or the newer stuff if you count stuff like Heavenly Sword. I mean, technically you can kind of count like the Ninja Gaiden games, Ninja Gaiden, however you pronounce that. Those are kind of like first person hack and slash, even though you don't really have a sword or anything. But I've always liked those types of games. I don't really like using guns. It's not my thing. I like bows and arrows and magic. If they made a first person shooter game with fireballs, dude, I'd be all in. I'd be sniping bitches left and right, but I just don't like guns. I'm not really a big fan of guns. Grab the ancient mana. Already killed that guy. Fuck him. Fuck you, frog guy. I need a new fucking mouse. It's killing me. It keeps catching. Like, fuck, I'm gonna rage so bad in PvP because of my mouse. I already know it's gonna get me killed. The worst thing, the fucking worst thing ever, is like when you're PvPing and you die, not because you fucked up, but because your fucking equipment fucks up. That's when I just fucking rage. I'm just like, what? I fucking throw shit. Get mad. Pisses me off. Ancient. I can't do that right now. I have to feed her. Create an arcane barrier. Requires you to be in Suramar. Okay. Damn, this bitch is crazy. She's all losing her mind. I just basically gave this bitch drugs to quiet her addiction. That's scary. Oh yeah, I have the flappy. I have the flappy. And it's perfect for this time of the year because it's Halloween. IRT excite for to Halloween. Okay, so that one's turned in. Basically just working on rep grinds right now. Dude, fucking hair in the face. In the face. Give this guy 100 ancient mana. Do all these people want fucking mana? What is their deal? They're all freaking like cracked out, yo. Junkies. Yeah, I'm so old. See, I haven't had anything past like a PS4. Like, I mean, past a PS3. So, and I never even had like a 360. So, I mean, I know a lot about games that came out because I worked at GameStop. And, yeah, I got to play a lot of demos and stuff. But I don't know those systems. I know all the systems from, like, NES up to, like, PS3 pretty well. Past that, I don't know them that well. But that's because I had all those systems. The only system I didn't have was a Virtual Boy, which I thought was fucking worthless. It was like 3D red lines and shit. It wasn't even like... I fucking hated that system. I was like, why would anybody pay for this? Looks like shit. Looks like shit. But people apparently did pay for it. I thought it was a worthless system, though. And it's not around now, so clearly I was right. Clearly. Hey, I got ancient mana from that guy. Cool. Cool. Was it Santa? I was more of a Sony person. We had an Xbox, but just wasn't my. I've always been like a Sony fan. PS2, Like, I feel like PS2, even though Xbox came after PS2, I feel like PS2 is still a better system because did you know that GameStop actually stopped selling Xbox games before it stopped selling PS2 games? Did you know that they stopped fucking selling Xbox games before PS2 stopped making games for the console? Like, Xbox even stopped making games for the console before PS2 did. PS2 was like releasing games for, or Sony was releasing games for the PS2 for like over a fucking decade, like 15 years or so. Like, it's got one of the biggest collections of fucking games, and really good games too, like of all types. Hey, look at this guy. Look at this guy. Oreth the Vile. Get wrecked. Get wrecked. Yes, ancient mana addicts they are. Dude, the farthest I've ever gotten in an actual like D&D tabletop game, because yes, I have played Dungeons & Dragons tabletop. I played 4.0, which I didn't like. I would rather play 3.5 before the loss of the gods. But yeah, the highest I got was like a level 9 Sentinel Druid. My rogue ate shit at like level 1. It got killed. It got killed twice in battle, rezzed, and then fucking killed again. Like, it was just pathetic. I was so sad. Those good times, though. Dude, this guy is like fucking my shit up. I totally fucked up my rotation there, but whatever. Give me artifact power. Gives me heal. Yeah, PS2 stopped production months before PS4 released. Like, this is fucking insane. Like, how long they were putting out games on the PS2. Like, it's absolutely insane. But that just tells you that there was a market for it. Like, it's... God, that fucking system made them so much fucking money. For real. And with good reason. Like, it's a good system. Like, I still have one. Do you know, out of all the... Oh my god. People would bring in 360s all the time with the Red Ring of Death. When I worked at GameStop. And... I still have an original chunky PS2 that works. The thing is like almost 20 years old. Like, it still works and it's never had any fucking problems. It plays just fine. Like, it's like the Nokia of fucking console systems. It's legit. Now, the Slimline had a few problems. Like, the Slimline overheated sometimes, but it's because it was so small. Or the way it was set up or whatever. But yeah. Big chunky one was golden. It was awesome. Original Xbox, yeah. I mean, nobody really brought in Xboxes either, but I still say PS2 is better because of the length of time that it was producing games and the quality of the games and the amount of the games, like just the sheer availability of any type of game that you would want to play. Now, I will say this, though, and this held true with the 360 and the PS3, is that if you're into, like, sports games or first-person shooter, they did tend to be better on the Xbox, like, graphics-wise. Like, you could see a side-by-side comparison. It tends to be a little bit better on the Xbox systems. But see, I'm more of, like, a RPG-er, first-person hack-and-slash, you know, like, fantasy game, and those actually tend to be better on, like, the Sony systems. So that's part of the reason, like, my tastes are skewed. I definitely am biased. 100% biased. Yay, wow. Yep. Yay, wow. Dude, I can't stay away from this game. Like, I can't. It just never happens. Oh, shit. I just got attacked. Oh, let's just fucking kill all of them. Why not, right? Man, they got wrecked. I didn't even pop cooldowns. Must be doing something right. You went from a godlike samurai to looking like a peasant, and the peasant gear trumps all the epic gear? Yeah. Dude, I hate that. You look super fucking cool, and then it's like, oh, but this one has, like, way more stats, and then you look like a freaking peon. It's like, damn it, man. It's always that way. It sucks. You know, I have like a meme picture. There's like this guy in all this armor, and then he's got this Hello Kitty shield, and it's like when the One Piece's upgrade stats are just too much to pass up. It's like, yeah. Basically, that is the truth. That is the real struggle in MMOs, is making your gear match. Remember when they didn't have transmogs in WoW? Do you guys remember that shit? Because there were a couple of times where I actually stayed with a piece that didn't have quite as good of stats because it looked cooler. Like, I'm not lying. It happened a couple of times. That was the real struggle. I should move to EU servers. I've stopped using transmog right now because I've already spent like over 1,000 gold transmogging my gear because I keep getting new gear so frequently. But what I've been meaning to do is change into something so I look cool. So now I'm a pirate. So I get stunned. Man, I'm fucking my rotation all up. It's pissing me off. My incompetence. My own... So that's the type of person I am. My own fucking incompetence pisses me off. I get pissed at myself. I'm like, why the fuck are you fucking up? Stop it. I ain't even playing. I ain't even playing. Fuck your shit. I'm a paladin. You can't kill me. I'm a fucking paladin, bitches. I'm a Kaladin. Hey guys, I'm a Kaladin. Fuck you. Thought you had me, didn't you? Thought you had me, and now you died. I got cooldowns for days. Fuck your shit. See, little known fact about me, when I used to game when I was younger, I was like an all or nothing. Seriously, like if I was playing a game and like a certain creature hit me or did something that I didn't want to happen, like I would go back and kill like every single creature of that species in the game that existed. Just because. You dare attack me and prevent me from getting to my objective? You and all your brethren shall die. That was my mentality. I still have a little bit of it. Not too much, but yeah, it happens. Like, there's something about like video, and the thing is it's game specific too. Like WoW in particular makes me more vulgar for some reason. Fucking Final Fantasy doesn't. Like, I don't really, I mean, sometimes it depends, but most of the time I don't have an issue with Final Fantasy. Like, you don't see me like screaming at the screen. But in WoW, oh yeah, man, it happens. It happens hardcore. Ooh, look, a purple thing. I have to go after this purple thing before somebody else gets it, because somebody else might get it. Oh shit. You mother bitches. Get off me. I get focused on WoW, like there's things like I want to do, and then these things like pop out and prevent me from doing them, so I'm just like, rawr, rage. Death to you, silly crab. Yeah, to watch me play WoW, you would not know that I have an extensive vocabulary. Like, you think it's pretty limited. Oh, look at that. I need that. I need this thing right here. I need all of these things that are here. I am a very complex person. I have many sides. Like, there's just many aspects to me. And the nature of our conversation was more academic, I think. It was more like philosophical, academic for the most part. So it's the same thing like when I'm in a classroom, when I go to school, you know, I don't use vulgarity in the classroom at all, because it doesn't like, well, actually in a linguistics class I did, we actually studied vulgarity, and there's actually research showing that use of vulgar language actually lowers cortisol levels, which in turn can lower stress, which is interesting, and that it is used, there are, basically the point that we learned throughout the whole course was that vulgarity has a place even in literature, depending on how it's used, because there are certain things that it can convey that cannot be conveyed with regular words, or that it can convey better than regular words. Why am I so slow? This thing's like hitting me. Damn. If this motherfucker kills me because these fucking little crabs. God damn it, I gotta go reset. I gotta reset this bitch. Because all these fucking little crabs. Ugh. See, I get pissed off. That's part of the reason I cuss. Because I get pissed off. I'm mad right now. I'm fucking pissed at these motherfuckers. I get mad at them. Bitches. I also have, like, I've had a lot of guy friends in the past, I guess, that have used extensive vulgarity. And it's just like a mode that I slip into. It is appropriate for what I need to express when I'm playing. But yeah, usually, think about this too. Like, if you're trying to prove like a point academically or philosophically or anything that requires higher thinking, if you're trying to prove a point in that sort of realm, the minute anybody starts using like vulgarity or getting pissed off, it's like they kind of like lose any validity, any like credibility, so to speak. And that's one thing I've learned. That's why, like, in arguments, like, if I were to get into an argument with somebody, I don't yell, and I tend to not curse. Like, and that's here's a secret to me. Like, that's how you'll know I'm mad. Like, if I'm really mad, if I'm cussing and like yelling, I'm probably not mad. I'm probably like joking. It's related to something, but it's not like a serious anger. But if I'm quiet and I'm not cursing, like, I'm serious. Like, that's how you know. Damn it, get up on the motherfucker. Yeah, it's just like, you know, I'm mad at the game right now, but I'm not like seriously mad, you know what I mean? Like, it's just like, it's like a slight irritation. And that's why I'll like yell and cuss at it. But if I'm ever like mad, that's different. I get very quiet and well, not very quiet, but I get very, my language changes. My language becomes very academic. It's designed to create distance. It creates distance between me and my audience because I have the capacity to use very obscure, large words that you may not understand. I mean, not you in particular, just like people in general may not understand because they're not common words. But I do have an extensive vocabulary, and that's part of like creating distance, like verbally, is speaking in a manner that alienates the audience. Yeah, for instance, when I bartended, I had people tell me, and I think I told you this when we were talking, that people would tell me that I was like uptight and stuff, and that I was stuck up. And it was based on like the way I spoke. And when I sort of dumbed down my language and started dropping a few F-bombs and using like dirty words, all of a sudden people found me more relatable. And people said that too. People were like, "Oh, you know, I had you wrong. Like, I thought you were stuck up, but you're actually like really cool." And the only thing different that I did was basically drop the education-based words and add in curse words. That's all I did. I was still the same person. I was still acting the same way that I would act at work. And that's what changed. And that's what made the difference in how they perceived me. So yeah, I mean, I can't tell you like how I speak normally, because I don't think I have like a certain way of speaking normally. I just speak however I feel like speaking depending on the situation. And it is influenced by different like situations, for sure. Definitely is. Is this a rare? No, that's an elite that's gonna kick my ass, so I'm not gonna go over there. See if I can get to... Oh, I think I need this mana stuff. The Google, yeah, my main complaint with Google is that people stop with the first Google search. They'll click on the first thing that comes up and they think that that's gold. They think that that's where they need to stop and that it's 100% written in stone, and it's not. You know, a lot of times, I mean, Google is just a search engine. Google is not an academic database. I mean, you can go to Google Scholar, but even that, you know, it can be misleading. Now, for stuff like words, like, I know what sanctimonious means. Like, I knew what it meant when it was originally used. So when I double check with that, it's just like I'm making sure I'm getting the right flavor. Like, sometimes when I say I know what a word means, I know it by recognition. I can't, like, directly quote it. But I knew that it fit the situation that I had in my mind. And when I double checked, I remembered that, yes, it does have, like, a religious connotation to it. So, yes, that does fit the word. And that's why I use Google. And for me, that's fine. For my purposes, it's fine for what I'm doing. If I was writing an academic paper, no. Absolutely not. Like, I wouldn't be okay with just Google. I would definitely go with Oxford English Dictionary. I keep one. I always keep one, a hard copy, just for that point. Because a lot of times, the great thing about Oxford English Dictionary, too, is it gives you, like, you can get the word etymology. You can get, like, the source of the word, like, where the word came from, you know, how it developed. Like, a lot of times, if you don't have the concise edition, the full edition will actually give you, like, an etymology and say, like, well, it's pulled from the Roman for this, or, you know, it meant this in the 1800s, or, like, the Victorian times, or whatever, and it gives you that information, which I think is super helpful. Yeah, there are some scholars that aren't honest. That's true. But there are some scholars that are, and most scholars, if nothing else, you know how to research. Even if they fudge their research, they know how. So they know they're screwing it up, and they know that they're doing wrong. Yeah, but, you know, if we're not gonna trust our scholars, who are we gonna trust? You know, scholars are the ones that make the dictionary. It's those same scholars that sit around at a table and decide what definitions go in the dictionary and what is going to be the official definition. So that's why it's like, you know, you can either trust the scholars or not trust the scholars, but remember that the scholars are the ones that are creating the definitions of our words. I mean, we create definitions of our words every day on our own based on how we use them, and the meanings change based on how they're used over time in different groups. But if we're going by an official definition, remember that those official definitions are given to us by our scholars. So if we don't trust the scholars, we can't trust those official definitions, which kind of invalidates your point about not using Google, because if you don't trust the scholars, then there's no reason for you to check Oxford Dictionary anyway, because it's the scholars that are making that make that dictionary. Lecture over. Sorry, I do that. I'm so bad. Oxford has not updated their dictionary to include selfie, but I feel they will be pressured into it, however pointless a word. Right? But what's the point of dictionaries? Like, you know, is it... See, and that's, like, if you study linguistics, you'll find that there are largely two camps, the prescriptivists and the descriptivists. The prescriptivists believe that grammar and language should have a set of rules and that everybody should follow those rules. And if you're not following those rules, like if you're not speaking academic English, then you are speaking slang, or you're bastardizing the language, whatever you want to call it. The descriptivists, on the other hand, believe that language changes, and there's a lot of evidence for this, that language does change over time, and it has changed over time. And that as linguists, as academics, as scholars, that our job is to describe the use of language. So when we make things like dictionaries or grammar books, we should be describing how it's being used. You know, and then you'll find that most people actually fall kind of somewhere in the middle. Like me, I fall in the middle. I believe that, yeah, we should describe how language is being used, but there's also a reason for academic language, because at the academic level, you're trying to communicate with other minds with higher level thinking, with complex concepts sometimes, and it's of utmost importance that there's not any miscommunication. So it's highly important that everybody understand each other, So I believe for that aspect, especially, there needs to be a standardized official version so that there is no miscommunication. And it's back to what you were saying about, like, you know, precision of words. Like, you know, you want it to be precise. You're not going to be going to Google in those situations to define your word. You're going to be going to, like, the Oxford English Dictionary and these official dictionaries that people have agreed upon to use as the basis for their research and for their academic pursuits. What was I doing again? Soothing targets? God damn, see what happens? You see what happens to me? Because I talk too much. Fucking keep going on lectures. Ire to bad. Dude, I heard it so many times. Like, this shit would happen when I was bartending and people were like, shut up and give me a beer. I was like, I'm sorry. My bad. Didn't say that, but they were thinking that. They said it with their eyes. They said it with their facial expressions. What the fuck? Really? I just went in a whole fucking circle. Where the hell? All clothes are for attention, though usually it's our own attention. Some folks don't get that. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, yeah, all clothing can be considered like accoutrements that express the inner self. Because people choose clothes that they like. If nothing else, it sends a message to other people of what types of things that you like. But even then, it's not necessarily for attention, even from yourself. Even if it's just something you like a lot of times it's like when I wear like my gym outfit, like, I'm not wearing that for attention. I'm wearing it because ease of movement. Especially when I go biking in the woods, like, dude, I make sure I've had shit get caught in my bike spokes. It's not fun. I've actually eaten shit riding a bike because, and it also ripped my favorite pair of pants, which was not cool. So you dress a certain way depending on what you're doing. Now, there are times where you dress, I think, for attention, but it's not always for attention, even for yourself. Even for yourself, like, there's times I throw on, like, crappy shirts I don't even like, just because I know I'm going to be sweating in it, you know? I probably would agree with you before I got into martial arts, and then I realized, like, when I started getting super active, I started realizing that clothes can be a super big hindrance sometimes. Like, have you ever tried to, like, throw a kick in jeans? Yeah, not going to happen. I mean, it could happen, but you're not going to get as high as you normally can. And it's probably going to restrict your range of motion, so you're not going to get as much power in it as you usually do. But yeah. Well, guys, I think that's it for tonight. I'm hitting at 11. I'm going to try to improve my sleep schedule a little more by trying to get to bed a little bit early or earlier. I still laid in the bed last night, not fucking sleeping, but I figure if I at least, like, put myself in the bed, there's more of a chance of it happening. And I am on sleep deprivation, so maybe I will fall asleep tonight, so we shall see.